First one we're going to look at is the photo that was taken by Jack London, and that was in about 1916. Great photo of the hotel, dirt road in front of it. Even though the adobe's still the same, but the facade of the building has changed through the years. The deck is still the same. It has been reinforced, which is upstairs. It was built by Don Salvador Vallejo. It was one of the 5 buildings that he and his brother built around the square, and then they were rentals, and then he lived just down the street. My great-grandfather bought it in 1923, and he and his brother came over from Switzerland in 1904, and then from there they traveled to Northern California, and they worked in a logging camp in a small little town called Fort Jones. Came down to Sonoma and looked around and had some money in his pocket, and Sonoma reminded him a lot of Switzerland, the Italian part of Switzerland, Ticino, which is the canton, and he purchased the building in 1923. It was called the Ticino Hotel when he bought it, and he obviously knew where Ticino was, but the majority of the people that were coming to California and had never heard that word before. And just down the street on First Street West was the Swiss Hotel. Unfortunately, there was a fire there and it burned down, and they never planned to rebuild. And so he grabbed a sign and stuck it up in front of the Ticino Hotel, his new hotel called the Swiss Hotel. My uncle was tending bar here. He was wanted to make sure that all the money was put in the register, and so he came up with a drink, an Irish coffee drink, but instead of being a hot drink, he wanted it to be cold for a cooling summer drink. He came up with a concoction with 7 different liqueurs in it. He added a little coffee to it and a little whipping cream, and that's how the Glarify was born, but he didn't have a name for it. John Hemmingway was a good friend of his who was a teacher over at Sonoma State in the late 50s. He had John taste the drink, and John came up with the Glarify because it's cold, as a glacier is cold, or a glare, like a stare, is cold, and there's coffee in it, and so the name was Glarify is what they came up with.